as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, while much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff, no such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. And right away, he lost the football. Now this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Play action. Now Trubisky under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fields. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Man left. Everyone's got 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
Held them well under 200 yards of total offense. In today's NFL, that's a feat to be proud of, especially with the emphasis on offense and what we're seeing each and every week.
On third down, Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete.
Good job, D. Good job, D. That's right.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me the fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a third down attempt.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Watch safety green. Watch safety green.
Now a give coming right is Breida. A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
On first down, here's Breida. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison. A look now at the Miami offense.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front, as we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
It's just me and you.
2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now Bullock to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. On second down, it's Fields, and he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They'll start on the ground with Breida. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 31 yards there, the 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to it.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Josh Allen racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. 17-0 our score after 1. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I have no idea how many yards I had. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Throwing on 1st down. Alonzo. Wide open receiver complete. Getting it to him in space. Pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw on 3rd down. Alonzo. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Josh Allen. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now, 2nd quarter, you're losing, you're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Trubisky, and he's got Rodgers. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. Taken in at the 11. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. They'll begin the drive with Breida. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down he'll go at the 25. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Breida, he'll try the right side. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Alonso. And he will find his man on the outside. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a... And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day.
On 3rd down, Alonso. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
Let's go.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they try the right side here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively.
I can't believe they even let you play.
To throw on 3rd down. Alonso. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A big play there for the Dolphins. 41 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. 2nd and 2. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt, with 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story. He's got him in, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. To throw on 2nd down. Alonso. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Miami. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Looking to throw on second down. Alonso. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. The Dolphins on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Back to throw. Alonso. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
I'm impressed.
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 8 yards there and a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Squeeze, get in there. Check 3, tight it up.
They run again with Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Looking to throw. Alonso. And it's caught by Parker. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Alonso. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Alonso, and he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. He'll look to set up his blockers. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Dolphins, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's a bad time of year to take a look.